voter in 2008, and I voted for Barack Obama.
I did vote for Barack Obama in the 2008 election.
I voted for Obama, and I have to say that at the time it felt awesome. I felt like this great kind of solidarity, like, yes, we're going to have some change, we're going to do some good.
I've never voted in the presidential election. I guess it's my pessimism or my laziness combined.
I did vote for Obama.
Actually, I don't look at TV, politics a lot.
I voted for, and this isn't like, you know, I hope this, you know, doesn't make it look like a racism thing. I voted for McCain.
The reason I voted for Obama is to have a change in life, have a new president in life. You know what I'm saying? It's not because, like you said, the racism doesn't matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? We just want somebody to fight for us and be there for us.
I did vote in the last election, and I voted for Obama.
In 2008, I would have probably voted for Obama if I could have.
I voted last time for Cynthia McKinney because I knew we were going to be stuck with Obama. I looked at his record. It was not a good record. His Senate record is pretty scary. He voted 6 times for the war. He voted to bomb Pakistan. He voted wall between Mexico and the U.S., keep immigrants out. Well, we were stuck with him because he knew the Republicans had no one, so I wanted a message vote. And Cynthia McKinney was great.
I voted for Barack Obama, so yeah.
I voted for Obama, but I'm woefully disappointed in what he hasn't done to address the Wall Street irregularities.
Barack Obama's performance as president, I think he's done a lot of good, but I think he had a very hard position to take because a lot of the problems that he's been facing were not started by him. I don't agree with a lot of people saying that he's been complacent and indifferent to a lot of issues. He's been trying, but you know, it's a difficult time right now, and I think he could be doing more, but I'm not going to criticize him.
I can't say that his follow-through has been all that I had hoped it would be, so I'm fairly underwhelmed with his presidency, we'll say.
3 years later, I'm completely disenchanted. I have very little support for the Democratic Party. I think a lot of people here don't, even though I describe myself as a liberal.
He said he'd do things and he didn't do really any of that, and I just feel like he's, yeah, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's just a wolf in sheep's clothing, dinos and rhinos, so I just don't, he looks cool. He's a great speech reader. That's all they ever are, really. He works for the same cabal that seems to be running the show and has always been, so my pessimism is shining through.
I think that he's done a great job given the circumstances that he came into.
I do support Obama. I think that to the degree to which folks here are critical of Obama, I will side with Obama and not side with the folks here. I think the Democrats are doing their hardest to try to manage the international system now the best that they can. Very difficult situation. So for me, I guess the difficulty of that situation trumps questions of purity, trumps questions of, is it the two-party really one system? So yeah, I guess I do. Does that mean I disagree with a lot of folks here? You'd have to tell me. I don't know. I don't know.
I've been sorely disappointed in his performance.
Obama, he's been on Israel's side. Me as an Arab Jew, I think that's racism. I am most appalled by what we do to the Palestinians. Obama's gone both sides. He's giving weapons to Somalian warlords in Africa. He's actually done more damage to Somalia than the past president, believe it or not, than Bush. He's bombed Pakistan more times than Bush. So his politics are nothing better than Bush. He's a centrist, middle of the road, connected to corporate America. Harvard Law, smart man, and picking a cabinet run by Jewish folks who have had dual citizenship in Israel, that's a strong message there. That's not a good message.
President Bush messed everything up, you know what I'm saying? And now Obama's trying to fix a big debt, but it's going to be hard. By the time he fixes it, he'll be out of office. And who's going to be the next president? We don't know. He'll be a worse president or a better president, you know?
I can't say that if McCain was president that anything would be any different because we don't know that outcome. It's not just President Obama's fault. I think this goes back to President Bush. I think it started with President Bush. To be honest, to keep it funky, I don't care how many women Bill Clinton screwed around with, okay? He kept the economy, he kept America stable.
Stable, yeah.
But right now, like I said, we're like a bunch of rats fighting over a piece of cheese.
When he was Bush, he was good Bush. I like Obama too. Bush is good too. And I love America.
I'm thinking about who I vote for next election, and I'm thinking maybe Vermin Supreme. I really don't have anybody to vote for right now. There's nobody out there. If Cynthia runs again, I'll definitely vote for Cynthia. Jill Stein's thinking of running for the Green Party. There's a lot of good candidates, third party.
Most likely the Democratic Party. As much as I'd like to vote for an independent or a socialist, I could not have another 2,000. You know, I couldn't bear having my support for a third party bring someone who's a worse alternative into power. But I would consider myself in no way a supporter of the current administration and their policies.
Unless someone comes out of the works with more. With better ideas, I guess, then I will vote for Barack Obama in the next election.
I plan on voting the next time around. No, I won't vote for Obama again. No.
Unless some dark horse in the running comes out, I don't really know. It's kind of the lesser of two evils is what it always boils down to. I don't feel like there's any candidate out there that really represents the working class people. I mean, like the tagline for this movement is "We are the 99%," and unfortunately, usually what we have to choose for as far as candidates are in that 1%.
I'm not sure if I'll be voting in future presidential elections. I have not been following President Barack Obama's election too closely, but from what I gather, liberals are not feeling it, and I don't talk to a hell of a lot of conservatives.
I'm definitely going to vote for Obama again, yeah. To my way of thinking, it's kind of a painful, bitter irony that this is happening now under his leadership.
It's not a black or a white thing, okay? And so we understand each other. If you're listening to me, Obama, or if you're ever gonna hear this, I hope you're kicked out on your ass because you failed as a president. Since you were president, yeah, we got Osama bin Laden. Good for you. But you know something, we could have did a lot better than just getting Osama bin Laden.
He cut a lot of things down, you know what I'm saying? A lot of small daycares, preschools cut down, businesses cut down, they've been there for years.
I'm discouraged. The Republican side is just so unpalatable. I can't consider anybody from their spectrum. Obama has disappointed me greatly. I can't say what I'm going to do, if anything.
You know, if Obama's there, I'm certainly going to vote for him. I mean, I'm going to vote for the person. If there's some person who comes up with better ideas, you know, I'm going to vote for the person that seems to have the best sense of where our country needs to go.
One-party system, which Republicans are part of, the parties of the rich, is not working. I believe in all third parties should run candidates.
I'm an independent with generally very progressive and leftist views, but I in no way conform to general democratic or liberal politics. I'm an independent thinker. I have a lot of sympathies for libertarian policies in particular. So I have little hope for the presidential election, but I have a lot of hope for what we're doing here now.
I registered to vote in the state of New York as an independent, but I definitely agree more with more liberal ideology. Definitely
that's simple.
More towards the left.
I don't think I align with either of the two main parties. I'm socially liberal, but maybe a little bit more fiscally conservative. Both parties are just such failures to the people, and they don't know what they're doing. They're taking handouts all the time. They're giving bailouts to these corporations, and it's just a mess.
I am registered as an independent because I feel it's nobody's business what way I vote. As far as the registrars, it's not their business. But I'm typically very left-leaning. I'm an environmentalist and an activist, and it can get a little dicey. I was raised by Republicans, and I was always told it's improper or impolite to talk about religion and politics.
I'm Democratic. I'm Democratic to the heart. Until I die, I'm Democratic. Till the day I die.
I only graduated out of 9th grade, so I don't believe I'm even smart enough to tell you. I know enough about the right wing to know that that's what I vote for.
I would consider myself Democratic, but I'm not I'm not solely willing to, take only their opinions. I am open to hearing what anybody has to say.
Socialist, communist, anarcho-communist, if I'm going to be really idealistic.
I'm in some sense a modern liberal, and in some senses a socialist. I mean, I vote Democratic because that's the party that represents the politics.
Do I feel that there's any signs that the Democrats might misuse the Occupy movement? I haven't seen any signs of it, but that doesn't mean that it's not entirely possible. I think the fact that basically there's not much media coverage, and except for like when there's big, arrests and police brutality. I don't know, I feel like it's this giant movement that's going on that pretty much neither party wants to talk about right now because nobody has good answers for the questions, because both sides take the bribes, both sides take money. You know, I don't think either party is really you know, above kind of shiesty dealings at this point.
I think that, as with any momentous movement like this, it's very easy for people to take advantage of it, to use it for their own goals, and I think it's a possibility. But I'm not getting any sense now that it's being abused by any power.
I don't think the Democratic Party would be able to misuse this movement because we don't align ourselves with the Democratic Party. So if they try to get their claws in there, I think people would stand up to that, because I mean, a lot of people here, I'm sure, are liberal Democrats, and but we don't align ourselves with any party.
The Democrats could use the Occupy movement as a way to just sort of take credit for it. Another promo shot, or what am I looking for the term? Photo op. You know, maybe Menino could be seen with a bunch of gutter punks, and that would make a good photo op. You know, until he sends the goon squad in.
It's kind of a paranoid thesis, right? The Democrats or Republicans are one. The Democrats are the man or the system, and they misuse these noble, pure anarchists. You know, I don't agree with this, you understand. Again, I'm not saying Democrats are saints, I'm not saying they're perfect, but there's, again, that kind of utopian purity at this point in time might defeat the left. I don't really care, frankly, what the Democrats do or don't do. I want to see the Democrats win office.
I hope that, you know, the Democratic Party does utilize the Occupy Boston, but more so the Occupy Everywhere movement that shows that things aren't exactly where we need to be, but that they can get us there. So I would hope that the Democratic Party would be able to utilize the knowledge that they're getting. They're hearing voices that they probably have never heard before, or if they have, they've heard them in very, you know, specific groups of people, smaller voices, very succinct, targeted messages. And right now, they're hearing everything. They're hearing everything they need to know.
And what else do you want, my
so I
friend?
hope they use that to their advantage. I do believe that that the Democratic Party will be responsive to what they're hearing, because that's part of the foundation of you know, we want to disperse the vote. We want to be, you know, more liberal and not be focused up on that top tier. So I think that they would.
I think they may try to co-opt the Occupy movement, but I don't think we will let them do that.
There has been some talk, there have been some rumors that the parties will attempt to co-opt it, whether it's the union voice or the Democratic Party per se, or the progressive part of the Democratic Party, but I think that will be resisted.
I'm sure the Democratic Party will try to co-opt this movement.
Recently, Eric Cantor, you know, a high-ranking Republican, came on the media saying that he thought people here were expressing genuine frustration. So I think a lot of politicians are wary of us for now. But I mean, just this afternoon, we had a man come down as an independent to declare his candidacy for Senate. And no one here was happy to see him. You know, he was saying all the right things, but no one here wants to endorse anyone who's representing the current political system. We have bigger dreams than that.
Political figures taking use of it to look like they're part of the solution, where the Occupy people are just the people living every day doing their thing. Like, just occupying space publicly and eating and connecting ideas and, you know, trying to survive without work because the economy's been tanked by giant monoliths like this. I don't know, you got me in a ranty mood here.